the American people stand firm in the faith which has inspired this nation from the beginning. We believe that all men have a right to equal justice under law and equal opportunity to share in the common good. We believe that all men have the right to freedom of thought and expression. We believe that all men are created equal because they are created in the image of God. From this faith, we will not be moved.
Hello, God bless America, and welcome to the Freedom of Thought podcast. I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Freedom of Thought is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank you always for downloading and listening to this show. We're featuring with Spotify, of course, so those of you that are downloading and listening to this show on Spotify, thank you so very much. I really appreciate that, because that does truly help the growth of the show, is downloading and listening to the show on Spotify. And also, again, there is a link in the show description if you'd like to make a very, very small financial donation to the show. You don't have to. It's a free country. It's 100%, optional. Those of you that have, thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. I can help better the show and kind of keep things going and such. So, yeah, it's a big help. With that said, today I want to talk about just kind of the smoke and mirrors of Instagram and TikTok. And the more and more you see all these people, these nice looking girls and all these people showing how extravagant their life is and how successful and smart they are and everything. It's all BS. It's all smoke and mirrors. They may have some success. They may have some positive outcomes in life. Oh, they went on a trip and they went on another trip and they went on another trip and another trip and another trip. It's all for show, folks. It's all for show. And I swear, social media, particularly Instagram, TikTok, are literally made to make the rest of us, so to speak, that aren't the prettiest girl in school or whatever, or the coolest this and that. They think they're the coolest girl or coolest guy ever, this and that, to make us all feel inadequate. They make us all feel not good enough. I swear, that's what it's all created for. And it's like the more and more you realize that it's all smoke and mirrors, that these people that want to tell you they're loaded and they're so successful and they're this and they're that, the more and more you realize that this 22-year-old is either just a spoiled little schmuck who's getting everything from their parents, or they have maxed out credit cards like you wouldn't believe. And odds are it's probably a little of both. Odds are that is kind of what it is. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all just an image. And the best part is, for a lot of us that are Christians, whether born again or Lutheran or whatever, but strong, God-fearing Christians that believe in the Lord, and we're also aware of what's going on in this world, how things just keep getting worse and worse and worse, especially given what month it is. I love the month itself. I don't like what it's being turned into by propagandists and such, and we'll leave it at that. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. I like natural rainbows. I don't like ones that are put on computer graphics and on stickers and stuff just to and on big murals and walls and everything to tell us about how great they are. But it's almost like I'm losing my train of thought here. I kind of went off into something that I didn't need to, so I apologize for that. What's important is, again, they can't take it with them. All these people that, even if it is real, like their fancy car, their fancy, clothes, this and that, none of them can take it with them. Their fancy apartment. Oh, they're in the nicest apartment ever. And they want to go on live video so we can watch them eat food. That's not even like fancy food. It's just like leftover food from last night. I couldn't believe it. And I even typed in, because I'm that kind of guy. I typed in, "this is boring," and did like a, where it's like a kind of a sleeping emoji, whatever. And they're like, okay. They're kind of showing off back at me because they were on live. "This is boring." Okay. It was a nice looking Vietnamese girl. I'm not even meaning to follow them or anything. Just kind of happened upon it. And they were live. And I wrote that. And it's like, well, you're not talking about anything. Nothing you're saying is important to anybody. We're literally just kind of hearing you talk about you got up at X amount of time, and you're eating kind of late because you're just kind of slacking off and not really doing anything important on a Friday, by the way, not on a Saturday or Sunday, on a weekday, even though it is a Friday. You're like doing nothing productive, and you're bragging about how, I don't know, your clothes and this and that. And you're eating like you think the whole world cares that you're eating like leftover noodles or something. It's just beyond me. It's beyond me how narcissistic people have become. Just like it says in the Bible, how in the end times, which we're very much in now, there's no doubt about it, that men will be lovers of themselves, men and women. Men means like humans, like people. It doesn't necessarily mean just men. Oh, but men are lovers of themselves too. The selfie sticks, the live videos. It's all about you, me, 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 me. Did you ever notice one thing, and I don't want to be a jerk and make it about myself, but did you ever notice when I do take pictures, and when I do take pictures on Facebook, like 80% of them, if not more, are something else. It's the other side of the camera. The selfie camera is off, but the camera on the back side of the phone is on because I'm taking a picture of clouds or a beautiful image of outside. Not because I'm on some fancy trip, not because I'm rich and I want to show you my beautiful house and everything and the food I'm eating, which is another narcissistic thing, but just enjoying the scenery. Thank you, Lord, for a nice day. Ooh, that's a scary looking storm coming. Oh, what a nice looking tree. And I know that might not be interesting to everybody, and that's totally fine. But I think it's less narcissistic, quite frankly, than me, 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 me. Every single time you got to have a picture on. It's another picture of you. It's another picture of you with smiling at a different angle. Unfortunately, people very close to me, whether I like it or not, continue to do the same activities over and over and over again. We'll leave that exactly where it is. The good part is, though, 99% of it is smoke and mirrors. There are people that think, it's the happiest couple ever. We got to watch them kissing and stuff in a video or whatever. And it's just like, really, do we really have to see that? Do we really have to see that? It's the happiest couple ever. And, they got their nice car and their nice house and their cute little kids. Woo-hoo-hoo. And that's fine if they have kids, obviously. So I'm not trying to rip them for having kids. But you might think I'm insane if I do that. But it's not as perfect as they want you to believe. It never is. And luckily, most of you listening already know that. But again, it's just it's a friendly reminder. Sometimes I need to remind myself the same thing. They go home, they have petty arguments about nonsense. Heck, they might have more petty arguments than the average person, for all we know. They might have screaming matches. The kids might be the biggest brats in the world, but they look nice and cute in the picture, and in the video, we don't know. They might be the biggest spoiled little whatever's ever. Who knows? Maybe the parents are spoiled brats. They probably are half the time if they're taking pictures of themselves 55,000 times a day or a week or whatever the heck it is. I'd rather take a picture of the park I'm in right now, Hampshire Park in Golden Valley, kind of relaxing and talking to you, the listener. And thank you so much for listening to the show. I always appreciate it. Smoke and mirrors, folks. Smoke and mirrors. And the immorality as well of Instagram and TikTok. Because the immorality is another major thing that is really taking these things by storm. There's always been immorality. There's always been immorality in this world, dating way, way, way back. The Sodom and Gomorrah, stuff that was going on in the days of Noah, and how in the Bible it even said, like, when Jesus comes back, it'll be like the days of Noah. Obviously, there's a lot of tentacles to that. We'll get back to that at a different time, other than pure immorality, but also the Nephilim doing their thing as well. Nephilim. I keep calling them Nephilim. Nephilim, which are the fallen angels meeting with women and creating Nephilim, which are, half person, half not person. Very creepy. Okay, there I go into that. And one day I'll talk about that some more and make a whole show about it. But the immorality, also, that is all over Instagram. I can't believe there's some people out there. Every single picture has their tongue sticking out in a, suggestive manner. eating ice cream and letting it drip all over the place in a suggestive manner as if it is not ice cream, but it's something else that's white. Fill in the blank there. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And then you just say, okay, why do you keep doing this? And then they double down on it. They make it 10 times more graphic and all that, and they think it's the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, these are girls, of course. And it's like, really? Do we really have to see this? Does this have to be on display for everybody? And then the saddest part of all is they might go from 80,000 to 100,000 followers in a very short time by making disgusting videos like that. That's what's sad. It's not only the fact that people are doing it, but the fact that people are buying into it, so to speak. They're doubling down, and it's helping people continue to double down. It also shows you're much more interested in, well, for being popular, this and that, than, well, having maybe a slight, I don't know, a monicum of dignity, a monicum of morality left in you. You'd rather just push that to the side and turn it into, just turn it into like, well, the more popular I get, the better. I might make some money off of doing this Instagram stuff. It's so cool. And TikTok. Yeah, okay. I personally don't like either. I don't like TikTok partially because of the narcissistic behavior. Dancing in front of a camera, like the whole world needs to see you and your fantastic dance moves. And then, best of all, not only the dance moves, not only the immorality, not only the pure narcissism of it all, but then you get to hear a genre of music that never ceases. Every time you're driving in your car, you're going to hear it 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 times. Every time you're in a parking lot, at a gas station, a grocery store, it's going to be blasted so loud that you can't miss it. And they want you to hear it, boy. I think we all know what it is. And it just never stops. And 2 out of 3, pretty much, whether they're attractive, unattractive, whatever, it's always that music. 2 out of 3. It's always that, not music. It's a genre of noise. It ain't music. And I think you know what it is. Just think of the word crap and take the C off, but you might as well put the C back in because it's exactly what it is. I cannot stand it. And it never stops. It never stops. It's on every video, no matter who they are, no matter what their upbringing is. It's the definition of prep-o. Prep-o. A mix of preppy and ghetto that has literally taken over society. Taken over. Whether they're they're poor, they're poor or whatever, or growing up poor, they bring in the absolute preppy side, but it's always a prepo. Whether they're rich as heck, they got to bring in the ghetto side, so they're preppy and ghetto. Prepo. It's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. Oh Lord, I can't wait for you to come back and and we can move on from all this. Yep. I'd like to do an episode about heaven sometime. There are some amazing books out there. People that have been to heaven and have experiences that are undescribable. Undescribable. That's the best thing we can do when we're frustrated and seeing these immoral things, these frustrating things. And again, I need to remind myself probably as much as anybody else. I'm as guilty as anybody for getting frustrated and disappointed and saddened and hurt by everything going on in this world. It's the number one source of me having any mental health issues, is like the young people like to force on us now. I can't go to work. I need a mental health day. I need mental health this, mental health that. No, you're just lazy. You're just incompetent. You're just making excuses. And now it's a new excuse, so let's capitalize on it. Hell yeah, let's capitalize on it. Pardon my French. Yeah, I've gone in so many different directions. I'm probably wearing you out, and I apologize. But yeah, that kind of stuff is all over Instagram and TikTok and this and that. It's amazing that I've only been talking 14 minutes. It feels like 3 hours. And it could take 3 hours to keep going on this topic and name all the different crazy things that go on social media, and it's pretty much forced down your throat constantly. You can use them for good purposes, of course, and simple purposes like, say, like my Joey's Weather Spy Photo Facebook page, which I think is on Instagram as well. I'm not sure. I guess they're kind of like connected nowadays with that Meta crap. Whatever Meta is, it's Meta, I guess. It's great. But yeah, something simple like that, where it's just pictures of nice clouds and weather situations and such, whether it be a clear day or a thunderstorm or whatever. Something simple like that. You can use it for that. Obviously, you can use it for your church. You can use it for any type of message you're trying to get out about, like, wake up, everybody, stop falling for this BS. This president that's tripping every couple minutes because he can't handle walking. He can't form a sentence. Senators from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, whatever the heck, that can't form a sentence and have disappeared off the face of the earth and are a better fit for Frankenstein monster than a senator. Yeah, that kind of thing. You know, that kind of thing. Cackling idiot vice presidents that are beyond me why they even exist as a vice president or a senator or, I don't know, a janitor. They'd be an annoying janitor, frankly. I think you kind of know who all these people are. I don't need to get too deep into that. I'll get deeper into it on a different episode. But yeah, you can use your social media for those purposes, like freedom of thought, thankfully. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the idea and to do freedom of thought. Gosh, now here I am in the mobile here. And yes, this is obviously a mobile show. You can probably tell by the constant sounds in the background. So that's kind of the idea. I'm going to move over to the Facebook page, facebook.com/freedom of thought 1776. And let's see if I have a little bit of, and yes, encourage your friends to follow the page if you could. I really appreciate it. I think it's mostly reactions rather than actual comments this time around. Mark Carlson, always thank you so much for being a big part of this show and being such a great guy. And obviously, again, a Iraq One veteran as well, which is a huge thing. Last episode is May 27th, and yes, huge Memorial Day shout out to those of you out there. Unfortunately, now we're in Pride Month. There, I said it. Pride Month. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. One other interesting thing. This could be a whole episode. Wow, unbelievable! And huge shout out to the Final Hour podcast, hosted by Jim Hammond, who, of course, is the son of Mac Hammond, coming out of Living Word Christian Center in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And, of course, a man that I've known for many years as well. Not because I'm close personal friends with him and I'm some big shot. No, he coached me in basketball a bit, was a gym teacher as well at Maranatha Christian Academy many years ago in the early 90s, was when I was there. Graduated at Hopkins High School, unfortunately. It would have been better to be at Maranatha, but finances didn't allow that. Yeah, I've rambled way too much into that. But yes, Jim Hammond is the main host. James Hammond III, yes. Linnea Farrell. And I believe there's John Peterson is the other one as well. It's a wonderful show. They talked about the Tower of Babel, and there's another episode again, Tower of Babel 2. Really cool. And they also mentioned that the EU Parliament is like an exact replica, basically, of what the Tower of Babel, done by Bruegel. He was an artist many years ago. Drew a painting of the Tower of Babel, created a painting of the Tower of Babel, and how there's like it's like a modernized version. You know how buildings now have like glass and steel poles and all that stuff, kind of like the IDS and all that. Well, just buildings in general in the modern days. It's like a modern day kind of version of what the Tower of Babel would look like, in a sense. Obviously probably not as pointed up to the sky necessarily, so to speak, especially in modern times. But yeah, clearly they're going for the same idea, where it's like it's a new world order. We're all one together. And that's why God changed all their languages. So yeah, I posted that, how it's amazing how it's uncanny, the resemblance. The EU Parliament in Strasbourg, France, is like, clearly they're going for the Tower of Babel. And the EU is, the New World Order. Yeah, at least it's a huge piece of it. Next, I don't think there's been any comments, but reactions. Yep, and I posted a Tower of Babel 2.0. Freedom of thought, highly recommended. Also, Bob Bierman, Truth to Ponder, truth with a number 2 ponder. And of course, that's also a website.com, truth2ponder.com. Otherwise, podcast, shortwave radio. And yeah, really, really appreciate that one. What's wrong with this picture? I was showing how many fires are north of here. It's unbelievable in northern Minnesota. So I was showing that picture. I was like, what's wrong with this picture? It's absolutely crazy. Next. I posted an Alex Jones show, where they really talked about, what was that one? I'm blanking. It was really good episode, though. I think it was hour 4 on Tuesday, because Alex Jones is split into 4 separate hours, so that was awesome. Yes, this is what it was about. The geoengineering effects. Yeah, absolutely. Saying kind of like a lot of the stuff I've been talking about, how there's a lot of stuff being put out there in the atmosphere, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke. There's a reason why, everything looks kind of blurry up there now. Every single day. It's not just because there's fires, but also that this stuff in the atmosphere now, because it's constantly coming down onto the earth, there's a reason that grass is dying so much quicker than it was before. There's a reason why there's shortages of, a lot of certain bugs and stuff are kind of dying off and disappearing. Not every bug is a good thing, but even see right now, it's a humid night in June. Normally, wouldn't there be a ton of bugs flying into my car right now, driving me crazy? I'm close to a light in a parking lot. There's just a little inkling, one little bug flying around, kind of one of those mosquito-like bugs that like light, but they're not mosquitoes. Speaking of mosquitoes, it's humid right now. There's nothing. There's no moths. So I'm actually witnessing proof of this. It was something that like I mentioned many times, Jim Calhoun, the power, off the grid power. I keep forgetting the whole name. Power and Information podcast, or Power and Information show. Again, shortwave and podcast. So yeah, really check out this guy's webpage. It is so much going on. Geoengineering effects. It is unbelievable. It's affecting, again, it's making these fires more possible. Everything's kind of dried out, everything's dying, and it's also adding flammability to surfaces out there as well, like it's coming down on the trees and such. So I know that might sound kind of weird and kind of crazy, but it actually is happening. It's weird and crazy, but it's believable because it's happening, folks. Fires in mid-May, July, yeah, June, I guess, but June is more humid, but mid-May, there was everything was burning everywhere in northern Minnesota, northern Manitoba. Doesn't that sound kind of weird? Doesn't that seem odd to you? So, yeah, that was amazing. So do check that out. Now I just refreshed something accidentally. With historic settlement. Yeah, this is Star Tribune with another absolute doozy. With historic settlement, Minnesota to move transgender woman from men's prison to women's facility. Transgender, it's a guy, though. It's a guy turned into a woman to a women's facility. Historic. And everybody's happy and clapping. So now you get a man in a women's prison. Yeah, isn't that just wonderful? A man in a woman's prison because he thinks he's a woman, supposedly. Right. That's historic. It's just wonderful. And you have annoyed reactions there. Yep. Nice to hear from you. At least to see you, Sam Tyler, Sage, Kildrup. Yep. Hopefully you're both listeners. And if you are, let me know. Comment on one of these and say, yeah, Joey, nice to meet you. I'm here. So thank you so much for at least being on the page. And if you're listening, that would be real wonderful. Sage loved one here. Yep, because she shared it and then I shared it. She shared it on her page. Yes, this is a huge thing that a lot of you should tell the community right now. That is, a lot of that the community right now that is being flaunted everywhere. Just because I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you. We need to learn that in our society. Yeah, but it's an image of Morgan Freeman, and I'm guessing he said it, but it doesn't show that he did. But yeah, Morgan Freeman has had some pretty good quotes though over the years. Like, what do you think about race, basically? And he said that we should stop talking about it. Like, what would help the situation, basically? That we should stop talking about it. Stop talking about race. Stop talking about race. You know, in the 1980s, early 90s, we didn't hear about it as much. And then Bill Clinton kind of, the Bill Clinton era, it wasn't necessarily 100% Bill Clinton, but I don't think he helped at all. I really don't. That's when you started hearing more about that kind of crap, the Rodney King incident and all that. And then, that isn't necessarily, obviously Bill Clinton had nothing to do with it, but the reaction afterward, not good. What else? You can just go on forever. Obama really, really, really got it pushed forward. Really pushed a lot of this, civil, it's like a civil war between races. It's terrible and it's sad. It really is. It's really sad. So I really appreciated when Morgan Freeman said that we should stop talking about race. So he's had a lot of really good quotes over the years. So there's something good about Morgan Freeman. I can appreciate it. He's probably still a liberal, but at least he's got some conservative liberal in him. Yep. So thank you so much for listening to the show. I believe I've caught up with everything now and a lot to say, and I really enjoyed doing this. I really hope you are enjoying the show, and probably have some more shows inside as well. But luckily the audio seems to be okay. I hope you don't mind it. And if you are annoyed with it, let me know. It's just, sometimes when I'm outside, my mind really is creative and wanders a bit. And a show like this, I seem to kind of need that. And the fact that the audio has turned out generally pretty good on these, as long as I don't get my mouth too close, because then if it's too close, it sounds like crap. So, understandably. Just again, thank you so much for listening to the show. Please tell your friends about it. Obviously, like conservative Christian friends. And maybe somebody you'd like to, maybe wake up to some things out there that maybe they're kind of on the fence. Hopefully, somehow, some way, with God's help, I can help, help show people the way. Is that my calling in life? Maybe. I'm not sure. Is that why God put me here on this earth? I'm not sure, but maybe this show does have something to do with that. And why I'm still alive today, for... Obviously, we've all had scary moments in our lives that, like, wow, I'm still here. I'm thank you, Lord, so much for letting me still be here. Thank you, Lord, so much. I can see Venus off in the background. It's just been hanging around in the evenings for quite a while now, and I really appreciate that. I do, because it was on the other side in the mornings, the early mornings, because of time and stuff. And maybe I'll have some shows where I talk about astrology, the solar system, stuff like that. Did I say astrology? I don't mean astrology. Astronomy, not astrology. Astronomy, not astrology. Astronomy. So hopefully I can get into some of that at some point too. That's the fun about freedom of thought. Random stuff can come to you. There's a moth. Moth number 1 on a humid night in June. Moth number 1. 1 month. Jim Calhoun, I think you nailed it. Yeah, we talked about that last summer. Like, what's going on? Yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. Absolutely. With that said, I still haven't emailed the guy. What the heck? I still haven't even introduced myself yet. Shame on me. Do check those out. Thank you for listening to the show. Tell your friends about it if you could. I'd really appreciate it. And I encourage you to download and listen to the show on Spotify. And I've noticed there has been a spike there. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you. It is awesome. Awesome. And thankfully, Spotify works on Apple and Android devices. So, again, it's probably even available on like smart TVs. I mean, it is. It's not a question. It is. So it's up to you. I prefer a mobile device to listen to a show so I could be possibly doing something else. My mind seems to kind of listen and pay attention better when I'm doing something else. It's interesting how that works. Yeah, I'm more easily distracted if I'm sitting in front of a TV or something, much more so than like if I'm outside biking, walking, cutting grass, whatever. So with that said, have yourself a wonderful, what I'm trying to say is enjoy the summer weather. Hope you don't mind the humidity. I don't know. I'd like to be swimming. And if I'm not, it's kind of uncomfortable. But hopefully I'll be able to swim tomorrow. as I head into the weekend here. With that said, thank you so much again for listening. I've said that 16 times. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.